Hey everybody, and welcome back to the War Budgies Fallout Wasteland Warfare Battle Reports. In today's episode, another settlement needs your help. I'll mark it on your map. So our mission for today is out of the Fallout Wasteland Warfare Campaign Handbook, and it is the Defend the Farm scenario. We've modified the points values a little bit for each side just because there's a couple of characters that I really wanted to throw in there. Give them a try, kind of show you how they work. Enjoy. Well, Miss Nora, your friends are resting comfortably and I think they'll be ready to go by morning. As far as your robot goes, there's a vault not too far away. It's got the parts you need. Afraid we can't really give you much assistance without having to ask for your help first. Most people do. What do you need? It's kind of a pest control problem. These things come in, they mess up our crops real bad. Mole rats, bloat flies. Yeah, they come a bit bigger than that around here. Yeah, speak of the devil. And here we have Team Survivor for the day, which you might recognize a few of the faces if you're a fan of the Fallout 4 video game. Here on the right we've got Nora with her 10mm pistol and her tire iron. Her mutant hound meat has been cooked, so it will no longer deal rad damage. Mama Murphy is hanging out next to her. She's bringing some fury and overdrive chems, because of course she is. She gets 2 free to start off. And she has her bolt action pipe pistol. There's a few special things that Mama Murphy does for the team, which I'll talk about as we get through the battle report. To the other side, we've got Preston Garvey, the last surviving Minuteman. He's equipped with a laser musket with a long barrel, and he has a few leadership abilities which will also help us out. Sturgis is next to him. Sturgis can generate some free item mods or weapon mods for his friends. He's also carrying a .44 revolver and a pipe wrench. His latest project is hovering there next to him. It is just a standard Eyebot with an Eyebot laser. That will be Team Survivor, here to defend the farm and all the corn they can handle. And here's our invading force out to burn down the farm. On the left we have 3 identically equipped super mutants. They are all carrying a nail board, combat shotgun, and a refreshing Nuka-Cola. Sponsored. Here on the right we have 2 mutant hounds, same as before, Hound Bite, and the super mutant master has decided to show up. He will be carrying a huge club, an assault rifle, and a grenade or 2 just for fun. He is an absolute beast if you have not seen his stats before. That will be Team Super Mutant for the day. And as part of Sturgis's rule, he gets 2 free mods to add to friendly weapons. He randomly selected the Stun Pack and the Comfort Grip. So the Comfort Grip will give him a +2 with his .44 revolver. The Stun Pack will go on Nora's tire iron and gives her a chance to stun enemies. So having a look at the board for today's mission, this is the Defend the Farm scenario. There's a few features here. We've got the farmhouses here in the middle, and surrounding it are 8 crop markers, which have to be at least black distance from the center and yellow from each other. And they circle all the way around. The Super Mutant's objective is to burn 6 of the 8. They can burn them by ending their turn adjacent to one, and they'll automatically burn it down if no survivor models are within orange. Also of note, there are these power stations, 3 power stations, corners of the house, and a generator. These represent the farm's defense systems. So the survivor's goal is to activate all 4 of those. That requires a successful use computer action, despite the fact that there's just a big red and green button on there. But hey, user-friendly systems. So the armies have set up. Normally the defenders would deploy first and the attackers would deploy around them since they're arriving to the show. But Mama Murphy's foresight allows the defenders to set up second, to respond as it were. So the Super Mutants had to set up first. We've got a mutant hound in this corner, the master with his mutant hound in this corner, another super mutant, Another one behind the billboard over there. And another one in the corner. So they neatly have the farm surrounded. And any of them can burn the crops. It's just a question of whether or not their AI card will let them. Spoiler, the mutant hounds really not keen on doing anything except biting someone's face. The survivors, on the other hand, Nora is over here by the corn processing stations. Sturgis ready to go for the generator. Preston's on the roof. Mama Murphy and little Buzz Ibot are here around the back, ready to cover the rear. So they have sensed the super mutants coming, and they are ready to defend their territory. Per the scenario, the attackers do automatically get advantage on the first turn. First action goes to the super mutant here on the eastern flank. He decides to remember his orders. Moves up yellow. Does another yellow move to the crops. And at the end of his turn, he will burn the crops. There's one down, 5 more to go. On the survivor's side, Mama Murphy will move up first. The survivors cannot activate the power grid until turn 2, but she will make herself ready to do so. She will also take a dose of Fury. Want Mama Murphy to go first, because the Fury will give her 4 foresight points, which the rest of the team can use here shortly. And finally, she will take a prepare action. Not far away from her, the super mutant here in the corner decides to go for the plants. He will take a yellow action, move up, and will burn the crop at the end of his turn. From his rooftop perch, Preston will draw down on the super mutant coming around the billboard. His long barrel mod makes this a short range attack, hitting on 6s. Hit with 2 armor break. Second shot hitting on 6s. And it's a miss. But since this is an X and Mama Murphy is on the field, she can spend 1 foresight point, and he can withdraw that action and take another action. In this case, he will prepare, bringing her down to 3 foresight points. This mutant hound, who really has no taste for corn whatsoever, is going to move red out into the open, and will then charge blue into Nora. Sturgis, not really being cool with this guy coming up on him, is going to unleash a double tap with his 44 revolver. He has specialty 44 revolver and a comfort grip, so he's hitting on 8s. Good hit, 2 armor break. And that super mutant takes 2. Second shot hitting on 8s. Another good hit. 2 damage against armor of 1. And the super mutant will take 2 more, going down to 2 health remaining. The other super mutant hound is let off the leash. Release! And charges forward towards the nearest survivor target, which is, in this case, Nora, battling out its sibling hound on the other side of this fence. Around the back of the house, our loyal iBot will blurt something that sounds like static and enclave radio for some reason, and will fire twice into the super mutant. Laser hits on 8s. Ah, so close. And on 8s again. Good hit for 4 total damage. 4 damage against armor 1. And he takes 4. Back over in his corner, the super mutant master decides he's going to have to do this himself. He will move out yellow. Then yellow again. The crop. And burn it. There's 3 crops burned so far. And Nora swings with her tire iron, hoping that the new stun pack will kick in. Hitting on a 5. That is a miss. Second shot on a 5. And another whoosh. This is not looking good. Our final super mutant here on the back side doesn't care for getting shot so much, so he will run up to the house, at least as far as he can. Yellow movement gets him up to the corner. And that wraps up turn 1. Absolutely devastating for the super mutants, who have now burned half of the crops they need. Currently, Nora is tied up with 2 super mutant hounds. Mama Murphy is in position to activate part of the grid. She and the Eyebot are staring down a mutant over there. We've got another guy coming around to poke at Preston, who is on the roof. Another guy at the generator, Sturgis standing by. But beginning on turn 2, the survivors can start to activate the defenses, and if they can activate all 4, the game is over. Our event card for turn 2 is going to be a new presence. We're going to drop in a marker on the board, which will be a stranger if someone interacts with it. And we'll drop the stranger in right over here by the ruined carport. Maybe somebody was taking shelter and they heard all the gunfire. Survivors have advantage this turn, so first off, Sturgis is going to move up yellow to the generator, and he will attempt to start powering on the defenses. His used computer skill is an 8, and he succeeds. Generator buzzes to life. With that station on, his turn is over, but the first of the grid is online. Meanwhile, the first of the super mutant hounds will try to knock this table over and attack Nora. Green die for the charge, plus the mutant hound special. Hard miss. Let's try that again, hitting on 6s. Just hits. Damage 3 against armor 3 plus 2, and she blocks all of it. However, that will take her armor bonus down to 1, and the star rolled earlier will allow the mutant hound to take a prepare action. Up top, Preston is going to try to finish off this guy harassing Sturgis. Hitting on 6s. Good hit. With 3 damage against 1 armor and only 2 health remaining, he is plucked from the board. Preston takes a prepare action. As his second shot, Preston will shoot into this mess and try to give Nora some cover. His careful special rule means he does not have a chance of hitting Nora instead of his target. Hitting on 8s because shooting into melee. Another hit with an armor break. The dog takes 2. Here on the back end, the super mutant is going to try to pry Mom Murphy off of that station. But she will spend a foresight point, which allows her to take her reaction before he moves instead of afterwards. As a quick action, she's at a -2 to use computers, so she'll be getting it on a 3. And she successfully hits the big green button. So the super mutant charges in, but the tower is already online. He'll now make an attack. Hitting on 6s with the nail board, green die for charging. Good hit, lots of armor break. Mom Murphy's Fury is currently having her at armor 4, so he's 1 damage against 1 armor with the armor break. And thankfully her +2 blocks it. But that does bring her down to +1. Nora's going to take a moment, focus, make sure the stun pack is turned on, and we'll try to swing her tire iron again. Hitting on 5s. Oh boy. Well, thanks to Mom Murphy, she's going to take that X and make it a prepare action. Mom Murphy's down to 1 foresight point, so hopefully this goes a little bit better. Nora's swinging with her tire iron again. On 5s, that is a hit with a bonus damage. No stun pack though. 3 damage against armor 1. And box 2, taking the mutant hound down to 1 health remaining. Meanwhile, this super mutant will attempt to climb the wall and get up on top of the roof. It counts as difficult terrain, so he will need to make 2 agility checks in order to climb 2 orange lengths. He's rocking agility 5. Alright, well, he fails to make progress on his first attempt. The shingles are just too, I don't know, radioactive or whatever, they crumble. His second check succeeds and will get him halfway up the wall. That brings us just over to Mama Murphy, who's kind of hopped up on Fury and feeling kind of frisky, so she's going to try to pistol whip this guy into oblivion. Start of her activation resets her foresight points back up to 4 because she does have an active Kim. And the Kim will deteriorate 1 row, so she will still get a black die for this pistol whip. Any improvised weapon is just a green die with a black die for the Fury, hitting on 3s. And of course she hits him with an armor break, dealing a damage. Second attack hitting on 3s. Ooh, it's a miss, but she will use her own foresight to take a prepare action instead. Finally on Team Super Mutant, the other Hound is going to make it around the bend, leap up onto the table. Nope, it's crunchy. Scratchable terrain, it's a little fragile. We'll just bring him around there. Nora's popular. And before he can attack, Nora will use one of Mom Murphy's foresight points, bringing her down to 2, to use her action before the enemy's action. Swing the tire iron on 3s. Good hit, extra damage, and armor break. Straight up 3 damage to the dog. Now the Mutant Hound will attack, hitting on 6s with a black die for the charge and a green die for outnumbering. Is that a 9? Oh, you were so lucky that's a 9 right now, Nora. That's a miss. And to close out Team Survivor, the little flying buzz guy will swing around the carport. And we'll shoot his laser into this mess. He's going to target the weakest dog, which is the one on the right here. But really, since he's got 3 targets, 2 of them are hostile, his odds are pretty good he'll hit someone he doesn't like. Maybe it's Nora. He's got a +2 for shooting the melee, which means he's hitting on a 10, so it's dang near impossible for him to miss. Oh, thank God he didn't show me. Good. 1 armor break, 1 damage. Let's find the target. On a 1 or a 4, it will be his intended target. 2 will be Nora, 3 will be the other Mutant Hound. Of course. 1 damage against Nora's 2 + 1. She blocks it all. You're not helping, little buzz guy. This is like the opposite of helping. And then finally the Master will take 2 yellow moves to the next crop and will burn it, bringing his total to 4. Alright, at the end of turn 2, the Master is still running around kind of unchallenged over here. Nora holding her own against the 2 Hounds, who are collectively down to about 3 health between them. Little Flying Buzz trying to help. Good moral support. Mama Murphy's back here just pistol whipping this guy into the earth. Preston's on the roof, but he's got an intruder coming up. Sturgis on this generator. We've got 4 crops down out of 6, and we've got 2 generators active out of 4. Moved into turn 3. And as usual, the Wasteland has a surprise for all of us. The event card for this turn is Relentless Rain. So each model may only perform a maximum of 1 action, that is an attack, not counting quick actions, as the just utter radioactive downpour covers everything. Starting off, this Super Mutant here in the back, who cannot believe he's getting his butt beat by someone in purple house shoes, is going to try to hit her with a nail board. Mama Murphy is, of course, going to react first. Normally hitting on 3, so as a quick action, she's just looking for a 1. And of course she gets it. With an armor break even, which means 1 damage with no armor. Yeah, she clubs him in the gribbly bits and he goes down. Let's take a moment to appreciate that Mama Murphy is now more of a boss than anyone else on this board, and it wasn't even her turn. Here around the other side of the board, Sturgis is going to move up. In response, he's going to try to hightail it up the wall. Agility 3 because of the quick action. Nope, he falls off the wall. He was orange height up and takes no damage. But Sturgis, being the good natured guy that he is, will put a bullet in him. Hitting on 8s. Good hit with an armor break. Automatic 2 damage. Bringing that Super Mutant down to 2. Meanwhile, in this little melee, the dog on the left will try to tear Nora's arms off. Hitting on 6 with a green die for outnumbering. Good hit. 2 extra damage. 4 damage against 3 plus 1. She blocks 3 of it. Nora takes 1, and her strong armor bonus is gone. Due to the environment, the Hound can't take a second attack, so he will simply prepare. Nora, not being in a great place right now, was going to try to haul back and hit this guy on the right with a power iron. He has 1 health remaining. Hitting on 5s. Nope, we're going to turn that into prepare. There's about to be a whole mess of actions going off here. So her taking a prepare action will in turn trigger an action from both of the dogs. She will, of course, use a foresight point to go first. To hit the same dog. We'll do these kind of rapid fire. Nora's quick action, hitting on 3. Miss. Dog number 1, hitting on 4s. Miss. Dog number 2, hitting on 4s. There you go. There's a hit with an extra damage. 3 damage on armor 3. She takes 3 damage. Nora really not in a great spot right now. Taking 3 from that attack. Then after all that mess, technically her first action was withdrawn and turned into a prepare, so she will make an attack. Taking the Hound Dog on the right with 5. That is a hit. Oh, it's stunned! It finally stunned! And it broke its armor. So I mean, it killed it, but it stunned it. Maybe it danced a little bit. Swirling melee of chaos, the dog is removed. Rather disappointed with his performance, they get on the wall. This mutant turns around, takes a double yellow move to the crop, and burns it. A little Resident Buzz McBuzz face. Going to swing up and will interact with the stranger card. Let's see what we get. And good friggin' lord, it's an inactive sentry bot. So at the end of the round, you can test computer to make a missile go off. Sick. Unfortunately, moving in here to the end of the Super Mutant round, there are only 3 crops remaining, which means 5 have been burnt. The Master weighs his options carefully, but he does move up, and he will burn the last crop. That is 6 crops down, which makes this a Super Mutant victory. We're going to set off the Sentry Bot's missile just because I really want to. Alright, so somewhat humorously, the iBot does not actually have computer use, so he can't test, he can't aim the thing, which means he is now the target of the missile launcher. Here's your random reckless explosion for the day. It was mandatory, had to happen sooner or later. 1 damage, 2 armor break, and the little flying buzz just stops it with his armor. As in a sudden beep and a massive cloud of dust and fire, the Sentry Bot explodes. And little Buzz spins around a little bit. And that makes this a Super Mutant victory. So the 2 or 3 surviving mutants can fade into the night, while the survivors have to deal with these smoking ruins of their farm. Content to the knowledge that they got about half of their defense grid up in time. Alright, so thanks for watching this week's episode of Fallout Wasteland Warfare. Since the farm was not defended, Nora will not get to bring these super high-speed characters with her, and it's going to be her and her original crew going down to this vault to try to get the parts and the equipment to fix Codsworth and maybe even Benji's power armor. We'll see. He's still a little sore about that. So I hope to see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.